Have you ever wondered why sometimes some individuals resemble their grandparents more than their own parents? What hidden genetic secrets could be at play, making you inherit traits that skip a generation? You look at yourself in the mirror and you seem to be an exact reflection of your grandfather or grandmother, and not your mom or dad. We're diving into the story of a curious monk whose fascination with pea plants unlocked these mysteries. The Tales of Gregor Mendel and the Pea Plants, a journey into the secret life of genes. In the mid-1800s, nestled in the quaint town of Brno, in what is now the Czech Republic, there lived a monk named Gregor Mendel. But Gregor wasn't your everyday monk. He had a secret passion that set him apart. Amidst his daily monastic duties, Mendel harbored an insatiable curiosity for the mysteries of nature, particularly the puzzle of how traits are passed from one generation to the next. Little did he know his fascination with pea plants would lead to discoveries that would forever change our understanding of genetics. Mendel's journey into the world of science began humbly. Born on July 20, 1822, in Heisendorf, Mendel grew up in a modest farming family. His parents, despite their financial limitations, recognized his intellectual potential and supported his education. After completing his primary education, Mendel attended a gymnasium in Opava. His academic prowess earned him a place at the University of Vienna, where he studied physics, mathematics, and natural sciences. The rigorous training at Vienna equipped Mendel with a solid foundation in scientific methodology, which would later prove invaluable. Upon returning to Brno, Mendel joined the Augustinian Abbey of St. Thomas, where he took on the name Gregor. The monastery not only provided him with spiritual guidance, but also a platform to pursue his scientific interests. Mendel's responsibilities included teaching and tending to the monastery's garden, where he began his legendary experiments with pea plants. Picture this: Mendel, donned in his simple monk's robe, pacing through the tranquil gardens of the monastery, his mind racing with questions. Why do children resemble their parents but aren't exact copies? What hidden rules govern the inheritance of traits? The serene garden would soon become the stage for groundbreaking experiments. From all the plants available for Mendel to use for his experiment, he chose pea plants for his experiments, not by chance, but for their unique advantages. These humble plants had easily observable traits and allowed Mendel to control their fertilization meticulously. He observed 7 distinct characteristics in the pea plant, each with 2 contrasting forms: tall or short, purple or white flowers, axial or terminal flower position, inflated or constricted pod shape, green or yellow pods, smooth or wrinkled seed, and yellow or green seeds. With a sense of purpose, Mendel meticulously planted rows of peas. He watched as they grew, each plant embodying a potential clue to the genetic code. One day, with a glint of excitement in his eyes, he decided to cross-pollinate the plant, mixing and matching traits. He started with purebred plants, that is, those that consistently showed the same traits over generations. a purebred tall plant will always reproduce tall plants only when self-pollinated over and over again. Similarly, a purebred short plant will always reproduce short plants only when self-pollinated over and over again. So, Mendel crossed a purebred tall plant with a purebred short one and eagerly awaited the results. The offsprings from this cross, known as the first generation of offspring, all turned out to be tall. Mendel's heart raced. Where had the short trait gone? Was it lost forever? His mind buzzed with possibilities. Undeterred, Mendel let the first generation plant self-pollinate, leading to the second generation. What he saw next was nothing short of astonishing. A mix of tall and short plants in a consistent 3:1 ratio. 3 tall plants to every 1 short plant. The short trait hadn't vanished. It was merely hiding, waiting to reveal itself. From this revelation, Mendel formulated his first principle, the law of segregation. He realized that each organism carries 2 alleles for each trait, which separates during gamete formation. Each parent contributes 1 allele to their offspring, explaining the reappearance of the short trait in the second generation. But Mendel's thirst for knowledge was unquenched. He delved deeper, expanding his experiment to see how different traits were inherited together. He performed dihybrid crosses, focusing on 2 traits at a time, such as seed shape and seed color. Mendel crossed pea plants that had round yellow seeds with those that had wrinkled green seeds. Imagine his anticipation as he cross-pollinated plants with round yellow seed with those having wrinkled green seeds. The first generation once again showed dominant traits. All of them exhibited the dominant traits, all had round and yellow seeds. But it was the second generation that held the real surprise. After self-pollinating the pea plant, which has round yellow seeds, a variety of combination emerged in a 9:3:3:1 ratio. That is, 9 plants had round yellow seeds, 3 plants had round green seeds, 3 plants had wrinkled yellow seeds, and 1 plant had wrinkled green seeds. This discovery led to Mendel's second principle, the law of independent assortment, revealing that alleles for different traits segregate independently during gamete formation. Now, picture Mendel's astonishment as he grasped the implications of his findings. The inheritance of one trait does not affect another. It was as if the traits were playing a genetic lottery, independently assaulting and recombining in each new generation. Mendel's third principle, the law of dominance, came from observing that in a heterozygous organism, one allele masks the expression of another. The dominant allele is expressed, while the recessive allele is masked. For example, when Mendel crossed smooth-seeded plants with wrinkle-seeded ones, in the first generation, all had smooth seeds. Yet, in the second generation, the wrinkle trait reappeared, reaffirming the concept of dominant and recessive alleles. But here is a thought-provoking twist. What if Mendel had chosen a different plant? What if the traits weren't as distinct or the genetic mechanisms more complex? Will we still have unraveled the secrets of inheritance? It's a tantalizing what if that underscores the serendipity and brilliance of Mendel's choice and approach. Mendel's meticulous record and methodical approach allowed him to uncover these fundamental principles of inheritance. His work, initially overlooked, was rediscovered in the early 20th century, revolutionizing our understanding of genetics. Scientists like Archibald Garrett applied Mendel's principles to study genetic disorders such as alkatonuria, marking the dawn of modern genetics. Mendel's principles of segregation, independent assortment, and dominance are now fundamental to genetics, extending far beyond pea plants to all living organisms. These principles have been instrumental in advancing fields such as agriculture, medicine, and evolutionary biology. Imagine the strides in agriculture, where Mendelian genetics is used to develop crops with desirable traits like disease resistance and improved yield. In medicine, understanding genetic inheritance patterns allows for better diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of genetic disorders. Gregor Mendel's experiment with pea plants laid the foundation for modern genetics. His 3 experiments of inheritance explain how traits are passed down through generations. Mendel's work not only revolutionized biology, but also provided a framework for understanding heredity in all living organisms. His meticulous approach, combined with his ability to identify and analyze patterns, sets the stage for future discoveries in genetics. So, the next time you look in the mirror and see a reflection of your ancestors, remember the humble monk who unlocked the secrets of genetics in a monastery garden. And that's the remarkable story of Gregor Mendel and his pea plants. And as we wrap up, let's ponder the greater implications of Mendel's work. What other secrets might be hiding in the genes of plants, animals, or even humans, waiting for a curious mind to discover them? Mendel's legacy is a reminder that sometimes the answers to the biggest questions in life are found in the smallest, most unexpected places.
She puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild.